Well, I'm back home in Canada, and I decided to stop at Niagara Falls because it was raining, and I knew that it would be very difficult to get to. It would take a long time to get to Cambridge, which is 100 miles from the Buffalo. But check this out. So this was the same price line, but this is Marriott 4-star hotel. I got it for 77 bucks Canadian. But there was a parking fee, $35 Canadian, which is still $100 Canadian, which is like 70 bucks. But look at the size of this thing. Look at the mirror. TV is the same as in my Crown Plaza, but look at the size of this. You know, it's like amazing. And they asked me, they said, do you want to be low or you want to be you know, at the top? And I said I want to be at the top. You know, look at this. And the ceilings are you know, I'm 181 metric centimeters or 5'11". Check this out. I cannot even, there's like 3 feet to the ceiling. You see this? Wow. But I'm just a bit disappointed that they gave me this part of the street, which is Stanley Avenue. I can see the sign from here. But this is a 22nd floor. But look at this. Like in New York for 250 bucks, I had a brick wall, right? This is Canada, but of course Niagara Falls, it's no Manhattan, but I just gotta love Canada, you know. And this is just Niagara Falls, Ontario. And the falls, the actual falls are behind me. And I went there right across the street from this hotel. There's a perfect view there's a perfect view of the falls, you know, like I never actually saw them from this side. So here's some pictures. And those were taken with this 70 to 200 millimeter Canon. And so for that kind of money, so again, it was done through Priceline. I love using their what they call it, express deals. You know, like express deals. Sometimes so now it's Wednesday, right? So middle of the week, you can get a crazy, you know, big discount. But I mentioned this before many times because you got to be careful with Priceline. When they say, let's say $77, they omit the fees, and then when you look at your reservation, it says tax and service fees. So they do charge a service fee on the top, right? And also this particular hotel, so the parking is not free. And actually most of the hotels near the falls you have to pay, but I don't think I ever paid 35 bucks, but so it's pretty expensive. And basically they give you a pass, like a little yellow, you know, piece of paper. You put it on your dash, and then they also charge you, I think it's like $15, some kind of a resort fee. And I said, why was that not covered by my Priceline reservation? They said, well, Priceline does not cover that. You have to pay it over here. And so that's what they charge me on top of my reservation. They charge me for parking, and they charge me for that resort fee. And I said, what's included? And they said it includes your Wi-Fi. But I mean, man, like I don't object, you know, like for a room like this, and I was able to take those amazing shots, I think. I never saw the falls so high, you know, so near the top of the falls where the water starts, you know, rolling over. But also what's cool is that they give you this. So that 17 or 15 bucks, you also get beer sampling for 2, and they tell you where to go. It's like it's a Niagara Brewing. There's a store nearby where you can get 2 small samples. They're not big, but still, you know. And then over here, what's missing is there was wine sample, and each one is like 4 ounces. And I said, I'm just by myself. She says, you want to sample 8 ounces? I said, yeah, sure. So she gave me 8 ounces of wine for free. And then you see, this is the hotel. So this is how it sits. It pretty much, if my room was facing the opposite way, I would be able to see the falls. And actually, I was hoping for that, but probably they charge you more. Like mine is just a cheap, well, a relatively cheap room, right? But also what they give you see, like, so 2 beer samples, 2 wine samples, and this We Go, it's actually, it's a bus that you can use, you know? Like you see 2 We Go passes. 2 bottles of water, or even family e-portrait at Hershey's Chocolate World, unlimited local calls from the room, unlimited long distance calls from your room to anywhere in the States and Canada. You see beer tasting, Wi-Fi access, and complimentary wine or craft beer sample. So I don't know, it's, you know, much nicer than but again, it's a small town, right? But it's a resort. It's a resort. What do we have here? Well, that's your Good Morning Vietnam. Good start. Well, I did have an awesome breakfast on the day when I was leaving Crown Plaza. I went to the restaurant, and I look at the breakfast menu, and they had this poached eggs on multigrain toast with avocado. Yeah, it was called avocado toast. Man, I almost ate my hand, you know, and I said, okay, give me 2 more eggs, you know. And I think it was like 17 bucks, but it was worth every penny. So all in all, you know, despite the small room and despite the bad view from the window, I was very pleased with Crown Plaza, so highly recommended. It's this time for me it was cheaper than the New Yorker hotel I stayed at last time, but they did come up with that secret $35 service fee, which I did not expect, right? And so parking worked okay. I just wanted to tell you guys I had an issue with parking, right? So this morning I left the Wyndham Garden Hotel in Chinatown, and probably 200 people pointed out that Chinatown is in Manhattan, where I said that you can see Manhattan from my window. I don't care what you think. To me, Manhattan is the downtown Manhattan. That's what Manhattan, the big buildings, right? Chinatown, it's not Manhattan, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's Chinatown, right? You guys should know that. It's like I'm surprised you don't. But anyway, so I didn't want to take an Uber because it would involve crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, and it would be expensive because of all the tolls, right? And so I think for the first time, I decided to use Google Maps to route me via public transportation, you know, and surprisingly it worked, you know. Like I said, okay, this is where I want to go. I knew the address of my parking lot. It's 77 Park Avenue, Hoboken, New Jersey. And then of course you choose, you know, how you want to get there. You want to get there, you walk, you know, public transit, car. And I chose public transit because I know on the night before I was wondering, like, which train do I take? I need to connect with a path PATH train, the Port Authority, what is it, over Hudson train, right? That connects Manhattan and Hoboken, New Jersey. And I saw on the map that, yeah, there were a bunch of trains in there near Chinatown. But I was thinking about different station, and then when I did this Google Maps thing and I chose public transit, you know, it was very nice. It told me I had to use a different, I think it was like Grand, something Grand station. So I had to walk like 250 meters, I don't know, quarter of a kilometer, you know, 3 minutes. And I used my Metro Pass that I bought when I was riding the PATH train. And so the same Metro Pass worked on the New York subway. And I went to that. It says go for 2 stops. And then I have to walk for another like 250 meters. Was it like 600 feet? And then I go inside, but I had to go outside. So there's no direct connection. You have to go on the street. And then I could not find that PATH station. And I saw some guy was warming up, probably before he's jogging or after he's jogging. He was, you know, stretching on the street and, you know, wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And I said, excuse me, have you seen a PATH station anywhere here? He says, no. And I look at the street and it's all like residential housing, you know, and I look at the Google Maps on the screen and it tells me to go to my right, and I don't see anything, you know. And the guy says, well, I don't think there's a PATH station here. They're all like more, you know, further north. And then I start walking away from him, and he says, hey. I turn around and he points, and I look, and the corner building, and it's hard to see, but at the corner building from the same street, there's an entrance and it says PATH. I said, thank you. I would have missed that. So anyway, I got into the PATH and, you know, again, used my Metro Pass, and I had to watch other people to see which way you have to put it in, because I put it in and that thing did not open. I couldn't go in. And then I saw that the magnetic stripe must be up, you know, facing the top. So I did that. I got inside, and then I just walked. I already remembered how to get from the Hoboken PATH station to my parking. The only problem was I prepaid my parking, right? So I had a reservation with a barcode, and it was fully prepaid. And so my instructions were, before exiting, take your ticket and, you know, put it in the machine, and then when it's asking you for payment, there's a window there where you can scan the barcode. And I arrived at 9 o'clock on June 1st, 9 a.m., like 9:04, and now it was just after 9, you know. I got up real early and the train took a while. And so I'm scanning this thing, and instead of, it was supposed to like kind of like zero out, you know, like cancel the balance. It was supposed to show me that I don't owe any money. Instead, it says $35 discount applied. You owe like $100 US. I'm like, what? I look at my receipt. I already paid, and I checked then later actually. When I crossed into Canada, I checked my records on my bank website, and it says, yeah, the money is gone from my account, was gone on May 22nd, so it was all paid. So yeah, basically I have the last hour and a half of driving left for tomorrow, where I can get to my truck and start looking for a load in earnest. The vacation is over. Thanks for watching.